Hello, I'm Janice Molnar, Deputy Commissioner, Division of Child Care Services at the New York State Office of Children and Family Services. Thank you for joining us to find out more about the Child Care Market Rate Survey. This survey of child care providers is the standard used to find out what is happening in the child care market. A telephone survey of a random sample of child care providers was conducted. The survey included licensed and registered child care providers in counties across the state. Price information was gathered for different ages of children in care and for different ways of pricing, for example, weekly or hourly. Conducting this survey is vital to promoting parental choice because the survey is the basis for the maximum payment rates for child care subsidy across New York State. We hope the following information helps you to better understand the process, its importance, and methodology. We also want to thank you for your commitment to children and to child care throughout New York State.
Welcome. During this video, we will be looking closely at where the New York State Child Care Subsidy maximum payment rates come from. We will explain the relationship between New York State's Child Care Subsidy maximum payment rates and the Child Care Market Rate Survey, including pertinent federal regulations and the process of conducting the survey, analyzing the survey data, and issuing the payment rates. Let's get started. An essential source of child care subsidy money in New York State is the Federal Child Care and Development Fund Block Grant. There are two core elements of the federal block grant. They are parent choice and equal access. According to federal regulations, parents with child care subsidies should have a choice among the range of providers available to them and should have equal access to care as compared to parents without child care subsidies.
And there's your brother. Oh, Michael, you're...
Equal access doesn't necessarily mean access to every provider. It means that families receiving child care subsidies are able to arrange and pay for child care which is comparable to that available to families not receiving subsidies. The federal recommendation is that families receiving subsidies should be able to pay to have their child in about 75% of child care programs out there.
Stevie and Noah, do a little dance.
It's important to note that New York State follows as closely as possible the federal recommendations for ensuring equal access to child care by 1. Using the data from a market rate survey conducted during the past 2 years to establish its maximum subsidy payment rates. 2. Establishing different maximum payment rates for different kinds of care, different places around the state, and different ages of children. And 3, establishing those rates as close to the 75th percentile of the market rate survey data as possible, given the results of the survey and the funds available for the New York State Child Care Subsidy Program. In 2019, New York State used the 69th percentile of the market rate survey to set maximum payment rates, meaning that those rates will give parents the power to purchase childcare in roughly 69% of licensed or registered childcare settings. To put this in perspective, New York State has among the highest payment rates for childcare subsidy in the country.
And this is mine.
That's yours? Oh, it's beautiful.
So now you're wondering, just what is the 69th percentile anyway? It's the rate at which 69% of all the other rates are below. Or roughly 7 out of 10 providers have prices that a parent with a child care subsidy set at the 69th percentile could purchase.
Look what I made.
Turning now to real data, there were 200 daycare centers in the county cluster that included Long Island and that provided care to toddlers. The cheapest weekly price reported was $127 a week. The most expensive was $594 a week. We didn't use averages. Rather, we counted. With some basic arithmetic, we figured out that 69% of 200 is 138. We then arranged the prices from lowest to highest and counted up to the 138th price. The next one up is the 69th percentile, or $338. The process to conduct the survey is a thoughtful, multi-step endeavor, which includes creating the survey tool, taking bids from contractors to conduct the survey, mailing letters and survey questions to all licensed and registered providers to let them know they may receive a phone call asking them to participate in the survey, contractor calling a random sample of providers to conduct the survey. Not everyone was called. New York State analyzing data, calculating the percentiles for each county group, modality, age group, and time period, and issuing payment rates by the Division of Child Care Services at OCFS. In 2017, New York State had a total of 19,015 licensed and registered child care providers. Using standard survey methodology, the required sample size was calculated for each combination of county group and type of child care at a 95% confidence and 5% margin of error. The total final sample included 3,744 child care provider interviews. The data were then checked and analyzed by OCFS. Next, maximum subsidy payment rates were set at the 69th percentile of survey responses for each county group, type of child care, age group, and time period combination. Those rates became effective on May 1st, 2019. Here are some of the results, or the New York State trends. Weekly, daily, and part day rates. For all types of childcare in all county groups, most of the weekly, daily, and part day rates increased, and some of the rates stayed the same. None of the weekly, daily, or part day rates decreased. Hourly rates. Most hourly rates either increased or stayed the same. The only exceptions were decreases in rates for school-age children attending center-based programs in both New York City and the county group that includes Long Island. To find out more about the Office of Children and Family Services Market Rate Survey, go to the website address you see on your screen. Thank you for joining us to find out about this important market rate survey to keep on top of the rules and regulations about child care subsidies.
Good job.